just going around here. What are your favorite and least favorite WrestleManias? Try to pick one for each category and give me a brief explanation as to why.
My favorite WrestleMania moment ever. Just all manias.
All manias. All manias. If you want,
my favorite WrestleMania moment ever.
No, not a moment.
No,
the whole show.
The show. My favorite WrestleMania.
Read the side.
There's crappy parts in every one. How can you pick just one? At least.
Okay, just give me an average.
All right, fine. I'll pick WrestleMania 10. And the reason was because it was very colorful. We had Yokozuna, Lex Luger, Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels. That show made me a fan, and I don't care what you say. Least was 13. It was god-awful because it sucked, and it sucked too.
I was listening to the Bruce Pritchard podcast they're talking about it. It makes it sound better than actually I think it turned out to be.
The back of the box says Ahmed Johnson and Friends, not Legion of Doom. And Friends!
That sounds like the name of a very weird kids show.
It's off the air now.
Make that a network special. Ahmed Johnson and Friends. My favorite Mania is 19.
Yes.
Part of it has to do with when I was there, and it was the first live Mania I went to. I was a senior in high school, very formative time of my life, and so I was able to, I lived in Portland at the time, so I drove up to Seattle and saw it. It was great being on the sea of people. I was like on the floor, so I had to look up and see. It's an amazing crowd, and it was a really fun show too. I think the Miller Lite Cat Girls thing was stupid. In terms of like, match quality and the caliber of the people that were there was really not one dud across the whole show. And like, you could take points away from the main event because Lesnar botched the shooting star press and almost killed himself, but I think that actually got added to it because it added a level of unpredictability. Because we all kind of saw coming that Lesnar was going to win, and then this happens. Like, are they going to change the finish, and are both people going to be hospitalized forever? Yeah, it was just, yeah, I think just the whole thing. And like Hogan McMahon was great. Piper coming out as a surprise. I mean, I could go on about that. My least favorite Mania. It's like, again, it has to, it's very fresh in our minds, but 32 was a god-awful Mania, and
Ryan, you are the man, bro.
I was there, and I was alive, and I was more excited about just being at WrestleMania than the show itself. I was more in love with the idea of being at WrestleMania than the card itself because it was so bad, and that's the truth.
My favorite is probably 31 because we were there.
Yeah, I was at the same place for me.
Yeah, and then that moment when Seth won the belt was probably the most extreme markup moment we've ever had.
Oh, big time.
It was huge.
My favorite is 18 because it was a weird dream card match. Or a weird dream card. Like they just got WCW like less than a year earlier. So you have Rock Hogan, you've got Austin versus like essentially the NWO, which yeah, it was like they totally screwed up that story, but you have it. You have Undertaker Flair. Which, I mean, it's Undertaker Flair. Yeah, it's just one of those weird moments where, like, all these weird personalities you never thought were going to be in the ring together were in the ring together, regardless of whether or not the matches were great. It was still really cool and weird to see all that.
Good point.
The worst WrestleMania ever is WrestleMania 9.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's in stone. That's in stone.
Absolute turd.
But the ending was great.
Absolute turd.
Yeah, the ending was good. I mean,
Because Brett didn't walk out with the title.
that's right. Do we have any tables? Do we have any tables?
It's a bit of you're going through one, Grim.
Excuse me?
You hired me.
Excuse me?
You hired me, bro.
Simmer. Best, I'm trying to take up to me to say it, X7. In terms of moments, there you go, there's the cheap part. Many great moments in the card, from Undertaker versus Triple H, Austin versus The Rock, and beginning of the end, and all the other things. I've rewatched that show for the Gimmick Battle Royal about 100 times, way before YouTube, way before they started properly acknowledging the history of WWF and all the stuff that happened. So see Earthquake and all these other people come out and like, wait a minute, what? The guy from the Television tapes? Oh, great. But the hardcore three-way match between Raven, Kane, and Big Show, where everything went wrong, until then Raven nearly killing the entire pay-per-view by climbing the golf cart into one of the pay-per-view feeds and killing the biggest pay-per-view of all time. Messing it up so he fell over and getting run over by a golf cart immediately afterwards. Love it. Worst, it can't be 9. 9 has that effect of going, oh look, it's so silly, you can't hurt it.
Oh, it's so bad. That's 10.
It's like when your dog eats all your food. You're angry for a bit, and then you're like, nah, little dog. 27 was way worse. because it was a setup show for the following year, which is nice if you're, Backlash or Fastlane, not so good if you're WrestleMania. There you go.
I'm going to go with Matthew on both. X7 is my favorite because of this moment. It was the first Mania I ever kind of stayed up to watch, and Linda rising from her chair. Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm glad you explained it because I was...
Cool. I was confused too. I thought I was being so smart. That was my favorite moment. Like that match, Vince versus Shane, best match on the card, bar none. Absolutely, I still believe that. And 27 because Jerry Lawler fought Michael Cole in a 14-minute match, which ended in a dusty finish via computer.
And the whole segment from beginning to end was like 30 minutes. So yeah, the match is up 14. The whole thing twice as long.
My least favorite WrestleMania, and again, I want you guys to give me a standing ovation for this one. 32, because of Roman Reigns! WWE had the resources to give us a great card, even with all the injuries, and they failed to do so, and I will never forgive them for that. My favorite, honestly, I don't have one, but if I had to choose one, it would be WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan winning. Daniel Bryan winning the world title when he wasn't supposed to. WWE wanted to give us Randy Orton and Batista. Who changed that? Us! And that was one of the greatest WrestleMania moments ever.
Well, I'm going to take us back in time and show how old I am. Since you guys already picked stuff, I'm not going to agree with you. My least favorite WrestleMania is 11, because I remember being 11 years old. I was a big Shawn Michaels fan, and Diesel won, and I was very upset. Plus, there was all kinds of audio issues. It was a short thing, and the main event was Bam Bam Bigelow against a football player. I hated that WrestleMania as a kid. It was in their backyard in Hartford, but it still wasn't very good to me. And I was 11 at the time. My favorite WrestleMania would be, it's hard to pick because there's so many great moments from all of them, but I can still to this day go back and watch WrestleMania 8. I love WrestleMania 8. Shawn Michaels, Tito Santana, Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, Randy Savage and Ric Flair for the title. Ric Flair is threatening to show a picture of the Macho Man's wife naked or something on the screen. I absolutely love that WrestleMania. I know it had that terrible ending, but I got to see the Warrior. I was 8 years old and I marked out for Warrior and Hulk Hogan, so I would have to say WrestleMania 8. Nobody's like, what the heck is that? We don't watch the network.
All right.